Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have a Canvas Workspace project for you, and this is with a Halloween theme. It's something to go on your table as a decoration, and it's this little lamp or luminaire, whichever you'd like to call it. And as you can see, when I put some lights in here, I'm just going to use this little string of lights in place of a tea light for now. It actually will glow. Just place that down in there and turn off the light here. So hopefully you can get the effect shining behind there. As I said, a tea light is going to work a lot better for this rather than these strings. So it is not a difficult project to complete, and for this one I've used all images that are available to me in Canvas Workspace. These are from the Canvas Projects collection. So if you'd like to learn how to make this, then stick with me and I'll show you how. I've opened up Brother Canvas Workspace. This is the download version. Now for this lamp or luminaire, I'm going to use 4 panels. And I'm going to make each panel 2.5 inches wide and 7 inches tall. So 2.5 by 7 inches, and be sure the maintain aspect ratio is unchecked. So next I want to turn this into a frame because all the images are going to be welded to this frame, and I'm going to do that by using the offset. I'm going to change it to 0.24 inward and bevel. So what you need to do is just to select both of those, go to the process overlap and subtract. So that has cut the center out of here, and when I fill it with this black, you'll see. So there we have it. Next I want to put a top on here, sort of a jagged edge, and what I'm going to use is a border. I've got this zigzag which I bring in, and I'm going to resize it. I'm going to just bring it down like so. Right, so I want to be sure that's overlapped there and that this is not showing. So I want to bring it down like that, and then I'll place it in the center. And now I'll weld this all together. So there we have our first panel. Just want to duplicate this 3 more times. And for now, I'm going to move all of these off to the side, because now I want to go into Canvas Workspace and find my images, because according to Canvas Project, I should say, and this is the project and pattern section, and you can see there are some Halloween pieces in here already. I do like this jack-o'-lantern, so I'm going to click on that, and that's brought it over into my to my mat. You can see here. I will be resizing that. But the rest, I want to actually find some more Halloween images. So I'm going to click here on Halloween. And I'm going to choose from several different projects. Okay. And now I have all these Halloween projects. And I think I'm going to use a haunted house here. I may use this ghost. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that on. Go back, and under this pop-up box, there is this tree that I'm interested in. And here I have these words, and also the bat, the crescent moon, and the witch's hat. And let's see if there's anything else. Let's check here. We have these witches here, which might be okay, and I think there's some ghosts on there too. So let's go back over to our mat, and you can see we've got loads on here now. So just going to start selecting what we want to use and then discard the rest. So I think I'm going to use a couple of these bats here. So I'll bring that up here. And this one. There we are. I'm going to use the boo. I'm not going to use Eek or this other boo. I may keep that jack-o'-lantern. Get rid of these. I have this crescent moon here. Just pull that off to the side and pull that ghost out of the way as well. This jack-o'-lantern, this big one here, we're going to use that. So I'll bring it over here. For the house, I think I'll use this one, and I'll delete that one. Keep this witch's hat. Might need that bat. Going to just delete that one. I've got Halloween under there that I don't need. I have this coffin, and I've got some ghosts here. So I might end up using those. The rest I'll delete. I'll keep one of these trees. and the Halloween is going to go. Now all these layers that you see here that are solid, I don't need any of those because we're not going to actually be layering. So I can get rid of all of these. What we'll do instead is weld all our images to the frames. Don't think I'm going to keep these stars. Delete all that and that. Right, so let's bring in a panel and let's start building our first one. I think I'll use this tree. So I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to pull it down like so, and then I'm going to make sure it overlaps here, but that it doesn't hang over. So all I need to do is to bring that in like that. Okay. I'm going to use a crescent moon here. That is going to be attached here, and I'm going to grab a couple of these bats. So I'm going to have a bat. I'm going to move over to the side here, and I think I'm going to just rotate that slightly. And I'll grab another bat here. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Move that up just a bit. Take a look at it. And now I can select all of these shapes, go to process, overlap, and weld. Okay. Just going to go back and make that black. And now I'm going to carry on with the other 3 panels, so you can watch as I do that now. Now, I may use the switch, but I don't need both of these, so what I'll do, since they're welded together, I'm going to break them up by using a square. Place it in the middle there. I'll select both of these, and then I'm going to subtract, and that cuts that one off. So this leaves me the switch. Okay, so as I said, you can just watch as I put the other 3 panels together. The panels are all now done, so I'm going to start lining those up, and I'm going to line them to the bottom, and then I'm going to use the distribute space, take it to 0, distribute them horizontally, and then weld them together. So include a glue tab on the end here, and to make that, bring it in a square. I'm going to make this not quite 1/2 inch, because I need to be sure that when I glue this, it's not going to overlap here. So I may need to trim some of that off when I go to put it together, so I can just use my scissors. But for now, I'll leave it like this. I'm going to align it to the bottom. Let's give it some color here. Just want this. Okay. I'm just going to pull it up. So it's aligned with that. So now the other thing I need to do is to angle this tab. And to do that, I can use the path tool. I could also use a triangle. Let's grab a triangle here. Let's use this one. Yeah. I'll bring that down in size. Now I need to be sure it's on top in order for it to be cut through this rectangle. Just zoom in a bit. What I'll do is just place it like so. I'll duplicate it so we have one for the other side as well. Yeah. And now I can subtract it so that it's achieved this angle now. So let me bring the other side in, and we'll do the same here. Need to bring it to the front. You need to cut it like so. Just slice that bit off there. And just set that corner and subtract. Right. So So there we have angled tab. You could, if you wanted to, just cut that with your scissors. Let's bring it in. And now I'm going to put it back to black here. I'm going to align it here to the bottom. And then I'm going to use my distribute space to take it to 0 and distribute it horizontally, and then weld it together. And there we have the 4 panels with the tab. Just going to look at the size of this. I actually want this to be 10.5, so I'll change that to 10.5 inches wide. I'm now ready to put in the score lines. I'm going to bring this up here into the corner and put in 0, both the X and the Y, and I will lock it. That way it's not going to move about on us while we put the score lines in. So the first score line is going to go about here. I'm just going to hold the shift key down, double click on it, go to properties, choose a dash pattern, and I'll change the line color to white so that we can see it. So I'm going to bring this in between these panels here. It's not actually sitting here in the middle. So this would normally be 2.5 for our first line. Let's see where it is at the moment. I'm pretty much just going to eyeball it to where it looks about right. That looks good. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to move it here, which would normally be the 5-inch mark. I'm going to shift it slightly. The next is going to be the would be the 7.5, and then the last one is going to be 10 inches. So let's go ahead and duplicate this one. Move it into position. And then finally for the tab, it's going to go here. It's the corner of that tab. I can make that a little bit longer. Just going to adjust these again. And that looks pretty good. So I need to go back to the layers and unlock shape, and then I can select all the score lines as well as the main shape and group them. So now that is ready to go to the machine. So we just need to make sure it's below this red dotted line here, and I'm going to export it. I'll cut it out next, and we'll put it together, and I'll use either a vellum or a piece of colored acetate for the background. I haven't quite decided yet, so if you'll join me shortly, I'll show you what we're going to do then. I've cut out the lamp or the luminaire, whichever you would like to call it, and I've also cut a piece of vellum that's going to go behind it. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish on the score lines. Thank you so much for joining me today and learning how to make this Halloween lantern. It's really not very difficult once you've picked out all of your images, and you don't have to use these images, you could use whatever you like, but I decided to use the ones that were already available to me in Canvas Workspace. You want to put a battery operated tea light in here for safety reasons, of course. And I think it looks quite nice. As I said, you could put a colored acetate if you wanted to, like maybe a yellow or an orange, to give it an even different atmosphere. So thank you very much for joining me today. And if you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for your continued support. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so today. Be sure to like if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and be sure to share with your friends. Until we meet again for another video, please stay safe and crafty hugs. Bye.